So we just might be seeing a shift in the condo market. Numbers are in for Grand Panama Beach Resort in Panama City Beach for April 2022. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I want to dig into the numbers for you to show you what I'm seeing. Before I do that, if you know anyone that would benefit from seeing this video, either share this with them, urge them to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm getting a lot of good feedback now that we're doing these on a monthly basis, that people really like seeing what's happening with the market. So if there's anyone you know that would benefit, please share that with them. Let's dig right into it. I want to show you some numbers. First of all, I want to talk about supply and demand real quick. If condo prices are here and we are wondering where they might go, any shift in the market, if we're concerned about them dipping, in real estate, it's not going to go from here to here overnight. We would start to see some trends and some things happening in activity that would signal sort of a flattening of prices before they started going in the other direction. So obviously, if we have a ton of supply in the market and not too many people buying, prices have to come down. If we don't have that much supply and we have a ton of buyers trying to buy, prices go up. We've been in that situation for what's about a year and a half at least in the condo market, pushing 2 years really. But let's look at some things that have happened just since the beginning of this year that are maybe signifying something that could be different. So from a supply demand point of view, this chart you're looking at, don't get too worried about the minutia of it. Just look at these two columns, B and D. Active, think about that as our supply, for sale. This just means the number of condos that are for sale at any given time. We track this week by week. New contracts, think about that as demand. How many new contracts are being written is a great way to look and see, okay, what kind of demand is there for a condominium? So starting in January of this year, look at really at red and green in these two columns. Beginning of this year, we were down about 50% every week when you compared it to the same week in the year before. And even the year before was a very active condo market. So if you think about this, from the condo store standpoint, buyers were walking into the condo store and it was half empty. So they felt very pressured to try to buy something, making stronger offers. Look, there was still good demand. We're in the green, 36%, 9% up, 16% up, 17%. We get to February, pretty quickly some things change. We're still down about 50%. There's still, the condo store is half full, but we don't have the same demand in February. We're down 17, down 10, down 17, down 24%. And look, this March is where it gets really dramatic. The condo store goes from being half full. By the end of the month, it's 90% full. We're only down 11%. We're adding supply to the condo market. And at the same time, look at these numbers for a minute. Instead of being down 17 or 10% like we were in February, we're down 47, 51, 49%. Demand is waning. We're buying half as many condos, writing half as many contracts as we were this time last year. And this is where another really big shift. It's just continuing. More supply is added. We're now in the green. We now have more condos for sale in April than we did the same time last year in 2021. And we still have this waning demand over here. We're off 25%. Now remember, last year was extremely hot. So we're talking about coming from like surface of the sun hot to atmosphere of the sun hot. So if we look at it this way, look at our months of inventory number. Remember, this is months of inventory right here. 4 or 5 months of inventory in real estate represents a neutral market. Theoretically, it would take 4 or 5 months to work through the entire process of selling something. So in January, when we were hot at the beginning of the last spreadsheet, we looked at 0.54 months of inventory. That means things were selling. We would sell out of the whole market in half a month. Things were selling very quickly. Multiple offers, 10 days, 15 days, 20 days to closing in a lot of cases. We've slowed down in April to 2.27 months of inventory. We're almost 5 times slower than we were. Things aren't selling in 10. We're not having closings in 10 or 15 days. It's taking 60, 75 days to work through the process of putting it up for sale, marketing, negotiating, closing. But on its face, 2.27 months of inventory is still very much seller market territory. So keep that in mind. We're still there. We're still headed into beach season, but I just want to notice the trend that we're slowing down. We have slowed. If you look at Grand Panama specifically, Grand Panama kind of remains a little bit hotter than the average condo in the market. January, it was even hotter than the market, 0.29. Right now, it's hovering at half a month of inventory. It's a smaller amount of data we're analyzing, but it's still a pretty hot market. I haven't showed you pricing specifically in a couple months, so here's March and April for you. In those 2 months, we had a closing in Tower 2, 1 bedroom for $399,000. We had another one closed for $400,000. We had a 2-bedroom over there closed for $489,900. We had a 3-bedroom over there closed for $525,000. We had, going on the Gulf side, we had a 2-bedroom closed at $535,000, a 2-bedroom closed at $600,000. A 2-bedroom closed at $610,000, include bedroom closed at $614,500, and a 2-bedroom closed at $619,000. Those are the recent sales from the last couple of months. I want to talk specifically to anybody thinking about selling for just a second to give you a couple of strategy tips. Look at what happened last year in the summertime. We're getting ready to go into this time period. So April through August is right here on this red line. And remember, the red line represents the number of units for sale. April, we were here. Every month, we very quickly added a lot of supply to the market, and not surprising if you think about why. Buyers want to buy, condos are rented. We just can't show them as much as they want to see, so it's hard for them to make an offer on something. They want to buy, the demand is there, but the demand doesn't get onto paper because we just can't get any contracts written. That does come back around generally in August, September. Market loosens up a little bit. But the buyer in August, September is a little less motivated, can be a little more patient because we're not heading right into beach season. So think about this. We've been adding some supply to the market. We very well may add more supply to the market over the next few months because of the same fundamentals as last year. So we could be drifting towards neutral market, buyer market, maybe in the buyer market territory a little bit towards the end of the year. So end of the summer. So what does that look like? If we're at the end of the summer, August, September, we have more competition. Buyers have more choices. Buyers are more patient that time of year. Buyers are a little less motivated that time of year. And then layer into that, what's happening in the overall economy with discretionary income, or buyers still wanting to buy like they are today, like they were in January. I feel like it's probably a pretty good bet. If you're thinking about selling in 2022 and maximizing on price is important, you may consider selling sooner rather than later to avoid trying to sell to a less motivated, patient buyer with more competition in the market. Think about that. If you're going to use it or rent it out for the summer and you really don't want to sell before then, think about this. The process is slowing down a little bit. It's taking us 2.27 months to sell a condo instead of a half a month. So start your process a little earlier than you might think. A lot of times people think about selling in September or October, right at the end of the season. Think about starting at the end of June, early July. Real estate professionals need to take photos and videos. We need to get into the unit when it's not rented or it's not occupied. We have to marry that with it has to be also a nice day. If it's vacant, but it's a lousy day, we're going to have to wait to do that. We have to build websites. We have to do all these things. Starting the process a little earlier will give you some time. Also, if it's taking us a little longer to get to contract and closing, if you start late June, early July, you're probably going to get to the end of rental season anyway by the time you actually get closing. So you'll keep that revenue, but you may beat some of this competition that comes to the market later in the year. So any questions? My cell number is 850-527-0221. Again, please share this with anyone you think might benefit from it. I hope you found this helpful. I know it's almost 10 minutes of some thick data, but hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next month with some more information to see if this trend continues. Thanks for watching.